Turn the mic on. Truth in the building. No filters. No politics. No apologies. Dr. Ken, let's go. We don't quit till the whole thing shake. Truth hit hard, make the whole world wait. Real talk loud when the system fade. Stand tall, even when the whole ground break. No fear, no foe, no retreat. Pressure make diamonds when the fire meet heat. All gas, no brakes. When the truth gon' speak, Dr. Ken in the booth.
Truth don't sleep.
Came from the bottom when survival was a law. Learn real quick what respect really costs. Everybody got opinions from afar, but they ain't never had to carry those scars. Built from pressure, discipline, pain. Some lose focus, some lose aim. Some sell souls just to chase that fame. I build my brick by brick, no shame. See the world get weak when it need a moment. Too many followers pretending they friends. Too many loudmouths scared to defend any real conviction when the pressure set in. But I stand on business, stand on code, stand on truth when the lies explode. Some fold up when the road gets cold. Some become legends when the story gets told. We don't quit till the whole thing shake. Truth hit hard, make the whole world wait. Real talk loud when the system fades. Stand tall, even when the whole ground breaks. No fear, no foe, no retreat. Pressure make diamonds when the fire meet heat. All gas, no brakes. When the truth gon' speak, Dr. Ken is on.
Truth don't sleep.
Frank Candid,
Straight to the point.
if nobody else gon' say it, I will. Yeah. Mic check, truth coming, live again. Built for the storm, I don't hide from when. Everybody tough when the lights are bright. Different story when it's dark outside at 10. I done seen pride make kings collapse. Seen weak minds get trapped in traps. Seen good people never fight back. Seen fake leaders disappear too fast. So I speak for the workers, speak for the tired, speak for the people still trying to climb higher. Speak for the ones still building new fire. Trying to lead this world better than prior. And if the truth hurt, let it hurt a little. Growth don't happen staying safe in the middle. Either build your life or become a riddle. Either move the crowd or get played like fiddle. We don't quit till the whole thing shake. Truth hit hard, make the whole world wait. Real talk loud when the system fades. Stand tall, even when the whole ground break. No fear, no foe, no retreat. Pressure make diamonds when the fire meet heat. All gas, no brakes. When the truth gon' speak, Dr. Ken in the booth.
Truth don't sleep.
Dr. Ken's truth. Frank, Dr. Ken's truth. Dr. Ken's truth. Dr. Ken's truth. Frank Candid.
Straight to the point, to the point.
Good afternoon and welcome. I'm Dr. Ken Harris here for Dr. Ken's Truth. Want to say thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for just subscribing. So you can always go to YouTube and hit the notification bell and subscribe. And that way I'll know you're here. Hit the thumbs up. Let me know that you're hanging out and that you're doing it. Remember, there's so many things that you can do to support me here at Dr. Ken's Truth. You can always go to drkenswag.printify.me. See if you see something you like. I'm going to keep trying to add at least one product every week. Got a lot of stuff I got to do and keep going. Next week, I'm trying to get Sherwin Hughes. I'm trying to get Dame Elsie in the studio. You know, let them pop in and see what's going on because y'all been crying and whining and complaining. Y'all hadn't talked to them. So I was on Sherwin's show a couple weeks ago, so I thought it'd be cool to have him on my show next week. Also, Dame. So I might try to track down Tori, see what he doing, see what everybody doing. You know, get the old originals, the OTs, the original truth, the OTs together with the OG DK and see what we can go on. By the way, we're live on LinkedIn, live on YouTube, live on Facebook. So if you're hanging out, Tell your friends, let everybody know what's going on. Remember, tomorrow, we've got B. Libra Caffelli. His book, Housing Development, is going to be talking. We'll be covering chapter 1 and the conclusion of the book. We'll be talking about how all that stuff works. For those of you that don't know, in the city of Milwaukee, let me check my weather. There's a severe thunderstorm watch until 4:30. It's 5 minutes after the hour. Got another 25 minutes. I'm sorry. It's till 10 p.m. My bad. 70 degrees right now. The low tonight's going to be 59. Looks like sunset is still at 8:35. Central Illinois is getting some hefty rain. So, make sure you check it out and watch and see, because it might turn. There's a possibility that it might turn a little crazy tonight. So all that stuff is coming up. We got that. We got a daily news brief coming up. I got some topics I want to throw in, top 5. It's going to be full today, and I'm going to see if I can get through it all, because, I'm trying a new thing where I want to start doing my monologue at the end, and we'll see how that works. I'll start that on Monday, and we'll kind of see, where it goes. Of course, we're here Monday through Thursday at 4 o'clock Central Time, so you can come hang out with me. I want to open up today and talk about jealousy. I don't think jealousy is a black problem or a white problem or a racial problem. It's a human problem, and you find jealousy in every community, every profession, every family, every organization, every social class, no matter who you are. But when it happens in the black community, which is something I care about, it often feels more personal, because we're so linked together and interconnected and smaller. And historically, we've had fewer opportunities available to us. Some people may argue that, but that's been my experience. Now, for generations, we were taught, directly or indirectly, however, that there's only a limited number of seats at the table, limited number of scholarships. We talked about that the other day. I got some scholarship information today for y'all too. A limited number of executive positions, Fortune 500 companies, contracts, opportunities to be seen, heard, recognized, lifted up. But when people start believing opportunities are scarce, success can start to look like competition instead of celebration. Somebody gets promoted, somebody writes a book, somebody starts a business, starts a new podcast, buys a new house, gets elected. Instead of thinking, if they could do it, maybe I could too, some of us think if they got it, that means there's less for me. That is not jealousy as much as it's a scarcity mentality. I actually had somebody tell me one time that if a company makes money and they get rich, the people who invest, then they're taking that money out of the pockets of the people that work there. I didn't understand that, living in a capitalist society. Well, second, success often forces people to confront the choices that they made, the choices you made, the choices I make. When somebody from the neighborhood, church, your lodge, your fraternity, your social circle achieves something significant, their success can become an uncomfortable mirror. It reminds you of the dreams you postponed, the goals you abandoned, the risks you never took. It's easier to criticize a person who succeeded than to look at yourself and figure out why you didn't. But lastly, familiarity breeds comparison. The world celebrates your accomplishments because they see the finished product. They don't see the work. People close to you see how you struggled. They remember when you made mistakes. They remember when you were just like them. So when you rise up, some people have difficulty adjusting their view to who you are. But here's what I learned. If you want to have a strong community, you don't compete over success. You simply multiply it. When one business succeeds, it creates an opportunity for somebody else to start one. When one Black author succeeds, publishers might become more willing, or you could self-publish. When one Black entrepreneur breaks in, investors start looking for the next one. Success is not pie-shaped. Somebody else's larger slice doesn't make yours smaller. A mature response to somebody else's achievement shouldn't be envy. It should actually be curiosity. We talked about that before. Ask questions, learn the process, study the blueprint, celebrate the victory, and then go do it yourself. It's kind of simple. Actually, it's very simple, because another person's success is not proof that you can't win. It's proof that winning for everybody, including you, is possible. And that's my view. Frank, candid, and as I always say, straight to the point. Hey, who's back? I'm back. Hi, back. All right. So let me check this YouTube chat, see what y'all talking about, see what's going on. Let me go all the way back to the beginning. Who's up here? Hey, what's up? Kwanda, of course, was first. Thank you for being first, Kwanda. Appreciate you. Sincere Ronnie Ray Real, what's going on? Todd is hanging out in here. Let me see. Not really a city girl. Hey, what's going on? Thank y'all for coming over. Kwanda says, Serena, too early for this in the boomer moment of your ADHD. No, I got some comments about Serena towards the end. So I got a poll in there. We'll jump to it. Curly Q, what's going on? Let us say hello to Todd already. Now that's a boomer moment. Curly Q, sad I couldn't make the meetup. Girl, get over yourself. Get over it. You didn't make it. We'll have another one. We'll tell you much ahead of time, probably like a month out, so y'all can make it, because y'all. We even told y'all we was gonna do it and what day. Y'all still didn't make it. So I was crying. Kwanda said, "Go Dame, what's up, Dame? Hey, OTs, that's right, original truths. Yep. Hey, what's up, Lucretia? What's going on? How's it going? Mao the elephant, what's up? Who said yes to Serena? They're retiring from tennis. We'll get to it. I'm not going to jump to it yet. Y'all trying to push me there, but I'm not going to jump to it. Kwanda says she needs some scholarship information. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. But it's not the information you might think, but we'll talk about that. And then if time permits, I'll get back to my topic of people being jealous and everything being possible. And hey, what's up, Kathleen? What's going on? Miles said, Kwanda, all is well. RN, new job, just making me earn my raise and bonus in the break, though. Good evening, everyone. So are you an RN, Mal? Is Mal male or female? I don't know. I got to ask because I don't know. Not that it matters. You're a registered nurse. So, yeah. But great coming to the profession. Lots of work, lots of things needed. So that's something that's very well needed. Let me give y'all a quick update and see what's going on in the news today. Give y'all a quick news briefing because, some of y'all don't read the news and watch the news and do anything. Sherwood police pursuit ended in a crash. Pursuit in Sherwood had 2 arrests and an ongoing search for a driver who fled the scene. Authorities continue to investigate the circumstances that led to the chase. That's from Fox 6. Port Washington welcomed an American cruise line vessel for the first time, highlighting continued growth in Great Lakes tourism. Officials believe expanded cruise activity could provide an economic boost to local businesses and attractions. So if you've ever been on a cruise in the Great Lakes, where you go all the way through and you can go to Ontario and all that stuff, you can Lake Huron. Never seen Lake Huron. Anyway. And former Eau Claire Hospital becomes a biotech hub. Former Sacred Heart Hospital, located in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, is being redeveloped into a medical research district. Nobody complaining up there. One company plans to use advanced genetics research aimed at developing human organs, heart tissue, positioning the area as a future biotech center. And Wisconsin abortion access expands. A new report finds that abortion access in Wisconsin has increased since the uncertainty following the Dobbs decision by the Supreme Court. Healthcare providers and advocacy groups report that more Wisconsin women are obtaining services in state than several years ago. That's from the Wisconsin Examiner. That prior story on the Eau Claire Hospital was from Wisconsin Public Radio. And political decisions intensified following reports and commentary regarding Governor Tony Evers' future political plans. I hope they're none. Attention is already shifting toward 2026 gubernatorial race and potential candidates from both parties. You heard one of them already dropped out, so now there's 5. Sherwin was talking about that the other day. Nationally, the Senate voted to limit the Iran conflict authority. U.S. Senate joined the House in approving legislation intended to limit presidential authority regarding military action involving Iran. The vote reflects bipartisan concern about congressional oversight of military engagements. It's that time of year. Supreme Court is entering the final stretch of its term with significant rulings still pending. Cases involving presidential authority, federal government powers are among the closely watched stories, so make sure you watch for that. Speaking of Black America, Howard University hosts the National Entrepreneurship Summit. Howard University and PNC's National Center for Entrepreneurship, that's the bank people, are convening entrepreneurs, investors, HBCU leaders in Washington, D.C. And the summit focuses, I'll get it right, on business development, innovation, and expanding opportunities within Black communities. That comes from the dig at Howard University. And talking about Black folks, Congressional Black Caucus Foundation released updated analysis examining how recent executive actions could affect us, Black Americans, in areas including education, healthcare, economic opportunity, and of course, criminal justice. I was talking about higher ed the other day and how you track a 3-year-old and where they'll be in 15 years, and you can pretty much tell who's going to go to college. Well, education leaders and federal officials are drawing attention to declining enrollment among Black males in higher education. Experts warn that the trend could have long-term implications for workforce participation, economic mobility, people in jobs, stuff like that. That came from a story on Instagram. And finally, organizations and advocates across the country continue evaluating corporate diversity commitments and economic equity initiatives, which are pretty much being hidden because of the Trump administration. The discussion remains focused on entrepreneurship, workforce access, and investment in Black-owned businesses. So there you have it. That's what's going on during the day. And while we're at it, next up, I got some We Energies drama that's going on that you might not have heard about. Election day is coming. And we was talking about Serena Williams. When is too old? Too old. What's up? What's up? What's up? So there's a story on We Energies today, and uh, from fox6now.com, there was a story about We Energies, and so they met today and they got together today. There's a hearing today. Milwaukee leaders discussed a proposal today that would explore replacing We Energies with a city-owned utility. The proposal would use Chapter 197 of Wisconsin state statutes to pursue a city-run model supporters say could improve reliability and lower rates. A We Energy spokesperson said the utility was not invited to the meeting and said it would cost the city billions of dollars to take over. But would we save money? So as you go through the story, you see the public proposal is being discussed and everybody's upset. Public Transportation Utilities and Waterways Review Board, public hearing, multiple people spoke in support of the proposal. Bob Bauman and Alex Brower, alderman, support the proposal, citing rising costs for customers. And Brower said We Energies increased its rates by 25% over the last 4 years. Brower said, quote, we're saying we have had enough with rate increases, enough with AI data centers. We Energies has doubled and tripled down on AI data centers and support for AI data centers, so we're just frankly sick of it. Data centers can take water, they can take gas. Like there are also different ways that you can, fuel data centers. So everybody's stuck on this, but just make the data center pay. Brandon Conway, spokesperson for We Energy, said, I think, again, it just shows how out of touch and radical this plan is. Of course, they would say that. A lot of things they said let me get that right. A lot of things were said today, but they weren't based on facts. What we want customers to know is we've been serving Milwaukee for more than 125 years, and we will continue to do that. Yeah, but the problem I have with that is the prices keep going up, and you are a monopoly, and nobody else comes in. This is called competition. Let people choose what they want. Now, let's flip this over. The city, no government has ever run anything efficiently. Politics kicks in, money kicks in, and next thing you know, the prices are right back where they were. So, I don't know. What do you think? Should we go with We Energies, or should we go with a municipal run utility? I don't know. I'm torn. At first, I was against letting We Energy stay. I was like, give them the boot. But then as you think about it, it is going to cost a lot of money. It's going to be a boatload of money. And who's going to pay for that? We are. Hey, next up, Election Day is 48 days away. Are you voting? Are you going to vote? Let me check the YouTube chat. Are you going to vote? Are you going to vote? Well, the partisan primary, if you're Republican, vote Republican. If you're Democrat, vote for Democrats. That's Tuesday, August 11th. And there are a lot of state rep races that are in place. And there are a lot of... So, what usually happens is if you have a pretty much Democrat-run state rep or state Senate seat and there's no Republican running, then you're just pretty much in. So if you can just beat somebody in your own party, you're pretty much in. And then others, they're going to have runoffs like governor, stuff like that. You got to go to your, what do you call it? Your state convention for Republican or Democrat and vote and get the nod and all that crap. So we'll see. General election, of course, is coming up Tuesday, November 3rd. That is the midterms for federal. So that'll be interesting. All I'm saying, and all you got to do is pick a side. So all you got to do is pick a side. Pick a side. And finally, my other story, Serena Williams from news1.com. Serena Williams stepped away from the court September 22nd, 2022, following that year's U.S. Open, although she has since announced her return. And nearly 4 years later, 2026, Serena Williams will engage in singles play at Wimbledon. She'll also play doubles with her sister, Venus. As reported by ESPN, Serena Williams 44 years old, retired after a dominant tennis career and embraced motherhood. However, the Williams sisters, some of the fiercest competitors in any sport, are choosing to go out on their shield despite the years under their belt. Williams was invited by Wimbledon as a wild card entrant in the All England Lawn Tennis Club, and she accepted it shortly after it was announced she'd be joining her big sister on the court. The eighth and last women's singles wildcard spot was left open as Williams made the decision to return. And Williams recently played in a doubles match in Germany last week, but at the time she was undecided about returning to singles play. And as explained by the outlet, wildcard invitations are set aside by tournament organizers, reserved for past Grand Slam champions and top-ranked players, granting them entry to the tournament, bypassing all the typical qualifications. Now, Serena Williams is the winner of 23 Grand Slam women's singles titles. 7 of them came at Wimbledon, which she last won in 2016. That's 10 years ago. She also has 14 Grand Slam titles in women's doubles, along with her sister Venus, and Wimbledon begins on the 29th of June. My question to you, and it's in a YouTube chat, is it time for Serena Williams to retire from tennis? Your choices are yes. Your choices are no. Your choices are play as long as you can. Well, right now, 43% say yes. 0% say no. And 57% said play as long as you can. I'm interested in knowing, why should you play as long as you can? Can you imagine if Michael Jordan played as long as he could? He would just go south, and he would go, like, you don't end. When you end on top, be on top. Tom Brady almost blew it when he came back, blew up his marriage. But then, if I recall correctly, I might be wrong, but then he came back and won the Super Bowl, and then he rolled out, which was smart. He's doing the talking head thing on football, and he's so. He just started. Got to give him some room, give him some grace. But I don't know. Let me see. Let me go back through here. Because y'all was telling me I had the boomer moment. You put the poll in. Well, I put the poll in early, so it would be there already, so you can just click it and tell me. But I don't know. I don't know. Some Ed that corrected me. RN means right now. So does RN Kawanda mean right now, Kawanda? Okay, I don't know. I'm just saying. But is 44 too old? Todd said, I think 40 is it for pro athletes. Golf, probably around 48. I think as long as your back goes out. Anita, hey, what's going on? I don't know. Maybe your back. Curly Q said, I mean, we should have a choice, but judging from how things are going in the city, we're talking about the We Energies thing, I'd rather have that choice between someone that's not city-owned. I'm kind of in agreement. I just don't know if it's We Energies. Can somebody else come in? Can Alliant, who has the western part of the state, can they come in? Come in and kind of, do some power thing. This whole power thing, I don't like. You're kind of stuck with who you get. And if they're bad, they're just bad. And that's what bothers me. That's what drives me. And so the poll is here. Is it time for Serena Williams to retire? 43% now say yes. 57% say play as long as you can. Anita said, my definition of playing until you can't means stopping when you start to decline. Hey, what's up, Sir Chance? Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. Curly Q said, one thing you don't want is a life-altering injury. Anita said, okay, I read that. Hey, Sir John said, be safe tonight. If you go out there, there's a storm coming within the next couple hours. Yep, it most certainly is. Sincere Ronnie Ray Real said, it's not always physical, but mental when you can play as long as you can. Listen, Sincere, I assume you're probably in your 40s, and that's, maybe your 30s. That's tough talk coming when you still have activity of your limbs. But I don't care what your brain say. There's a balance between being able to do what you want to do because you tell your body to do it, and when you do what you want to do and you tell your body to do it and it don't respond. There's a point where your body's going to say no. Unless you keep yourself, worked out and walk and do all that, you're not. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I know I'm right. But at some point, I don't know. Quanda said 30s. Okay, he's in his 30s. Big deal. Sincere said, look at Jim Brown and Barry Sanders. What do you remember last about Barry Sanders? Oh, wait. Nothing. What do you remember last about Jim Brown? He started making movies. Why? Those were punishing running backs. And at some point, somebody going to punch your ticket. And you don't want your ticket punched by somebody that's bigger, badder, and faster than you are. Have you seen them corn-fed hulks of people playing football today? They are bigger, stronger, faster. Some of them probably on some type of pills that make them run bigger, stronger, faster. I don't think so. Quanda said, no, he's not in his 30s. He'll be 50 this year. Okay. It's still looking good, though. Slim, trim, fit. That's what I'm saying. But that don't mean you could do anything. I'm just saying. That don't mean you can just jump up and run and act a fool. I know in your 50s and your 40s and your 30s, you can't do what you did in your 20s and your teens. Ever. And if you do, your recuperation takes significantly longer. Curly said, what do you remember about Barry Sanders? Nothing. That cracked me up. Jordan was a mess when he left. It was sad. That's what Anita said. Listen, there comes a time and a place you got to let it go. But a lot of that, and I'm speaking for me, if I were to continue to do that, it would be ego. I'm not going to be doing this all the time. I might jump on every now and then as I age, but am I going to be doing this? Like I used to do it Monday through Friday, now I do it Monday through Thursday. Then I might drop to once a week. Maybe I'll do 2 or 3 different podcasts, but each one has a different day. Doing the same thing over and over. At some point, it's not that I might lose and have what Quanda keep talking about, a boomer moment. I may just not want to do it. I may have other things that, tickle my fancy, make me go, I think I'll do that. And then go do it. Go travel, go hang out. And basically you can do a YouTube show from anywhere. So I think that'll work out. But yeah, that didn't work out too well for some athletes. And some athletes just, you got to know when to go. What's that Kenny Rogers song? You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run. Now, especially when you get the money, that's time to run. You're listening to Dr. Ken's Truth. You know what's coming up next, right? Top 5 up next. Yeah, I'm just sitting here watching the weather. Thanks. We're back with Dr. Ken's Truth. The storm is about to come into Wisconsin. And Pecatonica, Fitchburg is starting to get glazed over. And if you're out in Colorado, there's some drama going on in Colorado that's about to come your way. Nina, the rail cam live, Wapaka, you can see the storm starting to roll over. So be careful. It's starting to get dark outside, and the storm is coming. I wonder how long it'll take to get here. If it's coming to Milwaukee. Doesn't look like it's coming to Milwaukee. It looks like it's going to hit central Wisconsin, but you never know. They said that last time, and you know what happened, right? You know what happened. Todd said, I thought you were maybe 40. He also said, my track coach told us in high school that this is the best shape you'll ever be in the rest of your life. He was correct. Did I say what's up tonight really a city girl? Yeah, I did. Will your joints be able to withstand all the drama from ripping and running on the court? I don't know. I wouldn't do it. I'm not going to do it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you could be doing. And I got to tell you, that's not one of them.
Number 5.
Well, I gave you the weather update, but I may as well take another peek at it and see what exactly is going on. 69 degrees. The high today was 71. Low tonight is going to be 58. 15% chance of rain. It's cloudy outside, and let's take a peek. Trying to see the weather radar. Yeah, there's rain southwest of Milwaukee, and it's moving. So we'll see how fast it gets here. Severe thunderstorm watch until 10 o'clock tonight. So make sure you check that out. The storm is like leaving Fitchburg and headed here. In Wisconsin, it's 20 counties: Fond du Lac, Sheboygan, Dodge, Jefferson, Kenosha, Milwaukee, Ozaukee, Racine, Walworth, Washington, and Waukesha. So all those cities and those towns, you need to be aware. It's a severe thunderstorm watch until 10 o'clock tonight. 10 o'clock tonight. So you got to be careful. You got to be, you got to make sure you get everything going and make sure you batten down the hatches and make sure everything is going great. All right. Okay. What does that leave us with?
Number 4.
If you were going to Milwaukee night market, it's canceled. Milwaukee, this from WISN.com. The first Milwaukee night market of the season is postponed due to rain and potential for thunderstorms this afternoon. Stacy Callis, the executive director of West Town Association, told 12 News organizers will hold an additional night market on Wednesday, October 7th to make up for the cancellation. They're expecting about 1 inch to 1 inch or more, half inch, something like that, of rain in some spots this afternoon. They said it should end around 11, but there's going to be some rounds of rain and storms coming in. So they said vendors need 5 hours to set up. And by the time they set up, all the drama will hit. So makes no sense. None at all. So, I mean, you know, I wasn't going, but, you know, it's good to let people know that everything's going okay.
Number 3.
Well, Donald Trump hit the trifecta today, believe it or not. From CBS 58, a judge has temporarily blocked, did I say that right? Temporarily blocked the Trump administration from obtaining sensitive medical records from healthcare institutions in New York City that provided gender identity care to minors in recent years. A ruling from U.S. District Judge Catherine Polk Failure is a significant blow to the administration's ongoing nationwide criminal investigation to the provision of gender identity care, which numerous courts around the country have described as an improper fishing expedition because the government has struggled to identify potential crimes by providers. Ruling on the bench today, Failure, an appointee of Barack Obama, former president, provisionally certified a class comprised of individuals who had received care from a New York City provider over the past 6 years. She also issued a temporary restraining order that bars investigators from obtaining the records, including through a grand jury subpoena that was also issued to NYU Langone hospitals in recent weeks. I think that your medical records should remain private, and if you don't like it, it's kind of like, too bad, because I don't think you should be able to go in and see what people are doing and why they're doing it, even if you disagree with it. I don't think that that's something you should be able to go in and look at, especially a person's medical records. And with that, now Trump is 0 for 2.
Number 2.
Speaking of 2, from CBS 58, a federal judge today permanently barred President Donald Trump's administration from implementing most of his first executive order on elections, parts of which are sought to require people to show documented proof of citizenship when they register to vote. The ruling by U.S. District Court Judge Denise Casper of Boston effectively converts a preliminary injunction she issued a year ago in which she temporarily blocked many of Trump's efforts to overhaul elections into a permanent ban. She rejected the administration's argument that the lawsuit to block the changes brought by Democratic State's Attorney General was premature because the rules had yet to be implemented. Instead, she agreed that the Constitution gives states and Congress the authority to regulate elections and that Trump's requirement violated that separation of powers. The Constitution does not grant the president any special powers over elections. Among other changes, Trump's order would have required people to, get this, provide documentary proof of citizenship when registering to vote, preventing mail ballots from being counted if they arrive after Election Day, which is probably something I agree with, even if they were postmarked by then. But if your rule in your state says if they're postmarked by Election Day, they should count, then they should count, and punish states that fail to comply by withholding federal money. In a statement, New York Attorney General Letitia James says she was grateful the court has blocked Trump's unconstitutional attempt to seize control of our elections and will continue to defend voting rights in this year's midterm elections. So I'm in agreement. I'm in agreement with that. I don't agree with all the things. There's some things in there that made sense, but in the long run, we've got to make sure that voting by citizens of the United States of America is valid. So you should be checking that in the state. The state should be going through and checking, are you a citizen? Like, do you have an ID card? Do you have whatever it needs to take? Even if you have a birth certificate, I don't have a problem with that. But if that's the case, the state should be doing that. The federal government should not be coming in and being, taking over that type of thing.
Number 1.
And my number 1 didn't play. Did it play?
1.
Let me try it again.
Number 1.
There it is. All right. Well, I guess they're 0 for 3 now, and I guess the joke's on the Trump administration. President Donald Trump abruptly canceled plans to sign a landmark partisan 21st Century Roads to Housing Act, stating he refused to sign it into law until Congress passes the Save America Act, the restrictive national voter identification bill. Now, that's part of the same thing that was tied into what you had to show in order to vote and whether or not votes had, mailed in ballots had to be in before postmark and all that stuff. All that stuff we talked about, it was included in the Save America Act. What this means is that the legislation, which had passed both chambers of Congress with broad bipartisan support, contains provisions to increase housing supply, lower construction barriers, provide funds to convert commercial buildings into affordable living housing, and restrict large institutional investors from buying up single-family homes. It basically restricted it to about 350 houses nationwide. The impact is that Republican leaders intended to tout the bill as a major legislative victory to voters before midterms. But hours before the scheduled signing ceremony at the U.S. Capitol, Trump posted on his Truth Social account that the housing conference was canceled until Congress passes the Save America Act, which would mandate proof of citizenship and photo ID for voting, which is something that federal judges have said the federal government does not have jurisdiction over. So really what happens is, it's a big nothing. Why is it a big nothing? Because if you understand the Constitution of the United States of America and the rules in Congress, if the president doesn't sign it, they just get to wait 10 days and it automatically becomes law. He didn't veto it because then he would jack Republicans. And there's some good stuff in there for Democrats as well. And then he'd end up making everybody mad around the country. So he simply said, well, I'm not going to sign it. And that's fine. But because he didn't sign it, we get to wait 10 days and it automatically becomes law. So in that case, he's 0 for 3. 0 for 3. And I'm happy about that. I think that it's important that we understand and know that our rights need to be preserved under the U.S. Constitution and the Constitution of all 50 states. I'm just saying. Want to remind you, remember, Black Book Thursday is tomorrow. B. Libra Caffelli is coming in. We'll be covering chapter 1 and his conclusion in the book, Housing Development, brand new publication. He's got 2 brand new publications this month. Go to Amazon, check it out, get the book. Take your time and read it. Take your time and read it. All right, let me check this YouTube chat, see what's going on. Not really a city girl say, yep. Todd said HIPAA laws. Yeah, but that was the story I read about the New York gender affirming treatment. Listen, you can agree or disagree with it. I don't think you should do anything gender affirming with children. When you become an adult, you can do what you want to do. I don't even think parents should let their children do it. I think once their child wants to become an adult, let them do whatever they want to do. But as a child, and really, if you think about it, if your brain isn't really complete until you're 25, you might want to wait then too. But we say 18 or 21, make it 18 or 21. So get this. You can drink, you can smoke at 21, but as a child, you can change your gender. That's weird to me. Let's bump that to 21. And when you hit 21, you can do whatever you want to do. People don't have to like it, but they have to tolerate it and they have to understand it. Give people some grace. Let people be who they want to be. Whether you agree or disagree, let them be who they are. Love them and keep them, treat them humanely and good gesture. Everything will be great. Anita said medical records are protected. Health information protected by federal laws or regulations. Not all of them and not in all cases. When there's a crime, law enforcement can roll in and there's a law enforcement exception. There's an investigatory exception that in some cases they can, in fact, check your medical records and check and see how you're doing. If you're involved in a crash or if you're driving while intoxicated and you're injured and you go to the hospital, cops can show up, say, hey, what's going on? I need you to take blood. And in the state of Wisconsin, well, they can force you to take blood if that law is still in effect. So it's true, but it's not true. Remember, HIPAA is about health information portability and protection, right? So if I get hurt in Arizona, if I get hurt in Massachusetts, if I get hurt in Alabama, they can check a system and get my medical records from Wisconsin and Alabama. They used to not be able to do that. They had to call, wait for you to send the records and all that. Well, we have a medical information bureau where all your information is. And in order to get it, medical doctors have access. That is what HIPAA was originally intended. And it protected you, your privacy, Portability and Privacy Act, something like that. Health Information Portability and Privacy. Anyway, so now he tried to circumvent that. And he was told absolutely, positively, no. I think that's a good thing. Jasmine said, I think changing gender should only happen after 25 years old because your brain is fully developed. And then if you want to change your gender, hey, God bless you. You know, I could agree or disagree. Whether or not I agree or disagree is completely irrelevant. It is utterly and totally irrelevant. It comes down to whether or not you make the decision for yourself so that you can do what you want. You know what I'm saying? Next, I don't know what day it's going to be in. I got Sherwin coming in. I got Dame coming in. And Monday, I got a topic I want to talk to you about. And one of the things I was just pausing to see where I put it. Monday, I want to talk to you about a federal tax credit for Wisconsin K-12 folks. And the governor said no. And so I think it's time that the legislature goes around the governor and does some things. We're going to be talking about that on Monday. So make sure you stick around. Starting in February 2027, federal taxpayers will be able to take dollar-for-dollar credits against their tax liability for donations that they can make towards scholarship granting organizations that help kids with K-12 costs. Of course, Governor Evers said no. So we're gonna look into that. We're gonna talk about that on Monday and look at some of the other knucklehead things he's doing because he just hates private schools. It's unfortunate to have a governor who loves education so much, but yet hates it. All right, let's look at this final poll. Is it time for Serena Williams to roll out? Is it time for her to retire? 65% said play as long as you can. 35% said yes. Ironically, 0 said no. Interesting. Hey, I'll see you tomorrow. Black Book Thursday. Make sure you hang out. Have a great time. Everything will be great. All right.
Take a hint.
All right. I could take a hint. Hey, God bless. Take care. Thanks to everybody being here in the YouTube chat. What's up, Babar? Joined up last, joined up late, but thank you for being here. Hey, once again, God bless. Take care. Have a great evening. I will see you next time.